The only problem is we don't have a water source out here.
I'm sweating so bad.
I'm back out here very early, about to work on this bridge. We are getting very close to it being actually completed. I've got the cable railing ordered. It should be here very soon. So the plan is to get this thing cleaned this morning, and then later on this evening, after Samantha gets off work, we can come back and she can, well, her and I can start staining it. The only problem is we don't have a water source out here. So my idea was to empty the Yeti cooler and fill it as much as I could with water, and I will use that as my water source. And if I run out, I can just run, I don't know, just drive a mile or so down the road to some relative's house and refill it up with water. That's the plan. Wish me luck. One thing I forgot to mention is that this top rail, I want to sand it down before I do anything. So as I enjoy my coffee, I'm going to go through here with this sanding block and kind of just sand it smooth. I hope that I brought enough water, because even though I can go right down the road and get some more, I really don't want to. The instructions said to make sure that the area is wet before, so I'm just gonna kind of like drench some plain water over and get it nice and wet. I need a little bit more water. I just hope, yes. I didn't check to see if this brush actually fit in this bucket, but it does. All right, let's see here. Now, this isn't too bad right here, but where it's going to be a pain, honestly, is right down here in this area here and below. That's going to be some rough stuff. I don't know, like, how much I should put on here. I don't know. I was planning on doing these top rails and 4x4s by hand, but considering that I'm moving down on the bottom first, it's probably a mistake that I did that. Should have started up here. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it with this brush on this pole. I'm excited to be able to start getting this stain. It's something that we keep putting off, but we're almost to the point now to where until they start building the home and I get the water department out here, there's really not much of anything I can do other than just maintaining like the grass, the weeds, the brush, all of that stuff. My grandpa socks. Pull my pants way up.
I guess you can call this round 2.
Round 2, yes. Round 2. I have my lovely wife with me here. And we're going to, well, my plan was actually when I left, I ran out of battery, or I ran out of SD card on the camera, so I couldn't really say much, but I got the top, the handrail, and the post and most of the side done. And my plan was to come back and actually stain that now, but I already need to wait 24 hours. And we have had some light showers, but I don't know if it rained here. So Samantha and I are going to finish and just go ahead and clean every bit of it, and then wait that 24 hours and come back. So
We thought
round
that
two.
was the more adult choice. Yeah.
Yeah, but who likes to do that?
Yeah.
Not me. Earlier in the day, I did mention that we don't have running water down here yet, so I had filled up the Yeti cooler. And while that did work, what I lacked was something that would squirt out water like a water hose, and I forgot.
Pressure is
Yes.
what you lacked.
I had an extra one of these at the house that was basically empty, so I cleaned it out and it works great. So
Oh, there's a big spider right there.
it does. I know.
The only thing I don't like.
So I'm back out here today to finish up the bridge. We really thought that we would be out here staining the very next day after we had cleaned it again. But it recommends that you do not apply the stain in temperatures above 90 degrees. And with it being towards the end of July in Mississippi, that's very hard to do. It's like, seems like it's 90 degrees for about 20 hours out of the day. So even when Samantha would get off from work and we would be able to drive out here, it would still be pushing it at that recommended temperature. So what we decided to do was just wait until we can come out here early in the morning, and we can stain it then. And that's probably the better decision. But the brace on the bottom has not been cleaned yet, so that's what I'm out here doing today. It's not that bad. It's like, I don't know, 7:30, and it's about 80 degrees almost. I don't know what the heat index will be today. So I'm going to do that, and then probably just do some cleanup and get ready for our staining tomorrow. As you can see, I brought my ladder with me today. I'm actually going to slide that down the creek and use that as steps getting up and down. So maybe it'll make it a little bit easier. It's not that hard to get down in there. It's just a little sketch at times, especially when you're carrying things. So oh yes, much easier, much easier. Look at that. I don't know why it took me so long to do that. I already had a ladder out here, like maybe like a 6.5 foot ladder or something like that, which I probably could have used now that I've got this one in here, but I don't know. This big old tall ladder was probably the better option. And I'll just leave it out here until I need it at the house. Since eventually this will be its home. I didn't fill this pump sprayer up with water, so I'm hoping that there's plenty enough just to get this right here. I think there will be. All right, just enough. Just enough. So you may be wondering, Wade, what's all this crap down here? Well, these cross ties or whatever they are used to be our old bridge. And when we took it down, they were too heavy to move out. And some of them's got a lot of massive screws in there, so I didn't want to use my chainsaw when I couldn't see what I was really cutting. But then we had a big rainstorm come through and just kind of floated them down here. And I just noticed being down here, it looks like one hit right here. So it must have got really high. Put a little dent in there, but didn't do any damage. And it's just been kind of sitting here. And the other day I cut some up and threw what I could up there. And then this weekend, my plan is to finish disassembling this one here that's underneath my foot. And then I think I can cut this one up into smaller pieces and throw them up there like I did the others. And then like this one, this leaning up, and this one behind me, I'm gonna get some help and lean it up. And now that it's dry enough I can back my truck up, I'll just wrap something over it and then hopefully pull it up. That's my thought process. We'll see how it goes. Now, this time, to start cleaning again. Crazy to think that this thing's been out here for months. It just doesn't seem like it should be out here for that long, but it has been. And I'm excited to see what this stain looks like. Even better, whenever I can put some lighting on there so you can see it at night. But that's a little bit further down. Probably the lighting will probably be more whenever we get ready to start being out here quite often, getting closer to moving in. Because I will say one thing, this section where this bridge is, it's almost like it's going to be the communal hub for all of us that live out here. Whoa. And I say that because we have a lot of ambition and excited about a lot of ideas and things that we want to do. Sometimes maybe a little bit, I don't want to say unrealistic, but a little bit further out of reach that we'll have to really work hard towards. But for example, if you've been watching this series, you've heard us mention it numerous times. If not, welcome. And our plans on this side is to put a sauna up over on our peninsula, right back over here. And then right across the bridge, we're going to put a gym, because we do have some fitness equipment that we don't want in the house, and we plan on sharing it with those who live out here, as well as a chicken coop. That's kind of been like my thing. I try to get chickens at our house that we live in now on a smaller scale, and I was vetoed out of it. But I think now living out here, Samantha has come around to the idea. We're going to make it fun. We're going to have fun chickens. And there's some other things over here I'd like to do too. A nice outdoor eating area where we can all just, instead of just meet up at people's houses, we can all just walk down here and sit around a fire and watch movie under the stars, you know, that type of stuff with the projector. And at some point on top of the hill, as you're going up the hill right over here, I thought about putting like a little tiny A-frame, and that's where I say some things may just be a little out of reach. Work hard towards, because we don't talk about it much or often anymore, but we have been totally debt-free for years, and we enjoy that lifestyle of not owing anybody but ourselves. And that's what made this project a little more stressful than it is because now we're putting ourselves back into debt. No, it's not a sizable debt, but it's still a debt. And our plan is to pay it off as quickly as we possibly can so that we can start saving for these projects that we want to do. And a lot of people ask us that have been watching some things, especially with my push mower, is why I haven't invested in better equipment, better tools to make the job easier for us. And while, trust me, I want that, it costs money, and I just don't want to spend that money. So it's made it a little bit harder and longer of a process for us to start doing what we're doing here. But that's okay, because once we move out here and get that debt paid down and off, the plan is to invest in some of that stuff, like a little small tractor, a little small utility vehicle, things like that. And just like that, that bottom brace is cleaned and it's been washed off. So now we'll wait until tomorrow morning to be able to come back and stain all of this. Something that I've looked forward to for quite some time now. But we are also planning on going by the water department to go ahead and set everything up to have them come and put in a water meter at the end of our road. So maybe they can get that done early next week, and then I can start trying to dig out and trench my water line all the way to the house over here.